evidence. Then invest in black businesses. They teach us to hate what we see in the mirror, but it can't break our spirit. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, caught the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream.
Matching hundreds. It's the coach. You're locked into Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Carolina Panthers taking on the New Orleans Saints. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they interplay. They come in at 15-0, one win short of a perfect regular season.
And it's something we've only seen a couple of times. Miami in 1972, New England in 2007. We know they're not going to mail it in. They're going to go for it.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers. They too were winners last time out.
I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. Leading the charge is the UCF product who hails from right there in the Orlando area in Altamont Springs, Blake Bortles.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there was also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. First carry for James Conner. Oh, then the spin. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. The tackle made there by Tack McKinley.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now it's Conner. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Now Bortles. And this is going to be incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And it's taken in at the 9. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. A first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. Simply not much more you can ask out of your running back. Over 100 yards and the 3 touchdowns.
And for an old coot like me, I loved it because he did it on the ground. A running back taking control of the game. That's what I like to see.
Hold on. An old coot?
Coot, C-O-O-T.
All right, I'll look that up later. They go play action here on first down. On the check down, he finds Kamara. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. It's a gain of 5, and it's a second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, there'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Amari Cooper, his 19th touchdown now of the season. And the Saints have taken the early lead. Lutz now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They run with Connor, and he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. The numbers there for Connor in last week's game. There was no answer for him defensively. Over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns to boot.
And that was a fun film to watch because a few of those runs, it was apparent he was just not going to be denied. And his team is hoping that that carries over to this week as well.
A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. And able to connect with Barrios. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot.
A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
They begin on the ground with Kamara, and he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, Kamara. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Newton to throw, escaping the pressure, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Frank Clark in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. They are going to go for it. It's Newton. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late-game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, Carolina getting set to take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football. Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Goes to Ware on the screen. Ware gets hit, and the ball is loose. It was pretty evident in reading everything, hearing these guys talk, that this was a deal they wanted to get done. They know how valuable he is to this team.
Absolutely a key component to what they do and what they do well. And if they want to continue to have success in the future, they knew they needed him, and they got the deal done.
The crowd here in the Dome making things difficult. 3rd and goal.
380.
They'll try to run it. This is countered. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches.
This drive started with 1st and goal. Now that it's 4th and goal, anything less than a touchdown would feel like a letdown to me.
And Gano's kick is right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. And they've got it here with a 1st down. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Newton on 1st down. Being chased out left. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, here's Newton. Looking for the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. DJ Chark, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Looks good on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Lutz now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On 2nd down, here's Bortles. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. First catch so far for Julio. He's got a 1st down.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Green 80! Green 80!
Bortles to throw once more. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Bobby Wagner in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on field that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
And the Panthers bring in their nickel set as they try to defend here on third down.
5 defensive backs. They fake the give. Newton. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Frank Clark in there for the sack, and he's closing in on that all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They will go for it. Now Newton going up top, and they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. And, partner, I'm not really sure what in the world they were thinking on 4th and long there at this stage in the game, but you think social media may be firing up a little bit right now?
Oh, the coach is trending right now. Right? There's no doubt about it. People wondering what that decision was. But it takes me back to a number of years ago. A very successful coach in the league had told himself before a playoff game he was going to be aggressive. No matter what, he's going to be aggressive. And it ran his team into some real problems early, and they got upset in that playoff game. Let's see if this team can recover.
Well, that's aggressive in capital letters. And, oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Fabian Moreau.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they're throwing interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll get this up only to about the 22. Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. A shotgun snap for Newton. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
The Saints on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Out of the gun, Newton. Flush to his right. Over the middle, Cooper with it. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The offense stays put. They failed twice already in this first half, but they're going to go a 3rd time here on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it here. Steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. And they've been burned twice already on 4th down, but the 3rd time's the charm as they keep the drive moving. Now a 1st down throw for Newton. Out to his left. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. The Saints on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and forever. From the gun, Newton drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down. They converted once earlier in this drive, but they'll roll the dice here again on 4th down. They snap it to Newton. He finds Beckham complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one, as it's good from 56 yards out. So they get the 3, increase their lead to close out the half.
Excellent way to end a drive, going to the locker room with a little bit of extra momentum after adding 3 to their total.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Automatic first down.
Good starting position for the Panthers as they come up 1st and 10. A final shot before half for Bortles. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us. This is second half of Week 17. No run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Again, it's Kamara. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
2 straight 4-yard runs, and it is steadily working the ball downfield. To me, they're staying right on schedule. First down, you want 4 yards or more to set up the rest of the drive. They're getting exactly that.
The Saints on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now they'll run it with Scarborough. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired. And
that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They run. This is Scarborough. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They try again with Scarborough. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Tackle made there by Frank Clark.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. The Saints on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Scarborough. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Now a first down carry by Jones. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. There, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
Definitely too early to panic, but that is his 4th carry of the game, and collectively has in total 10 yards. So maybe there's no panic, but maybe some concern.
Yeah, and maybe a little concern up front because they're not giving him any space right now. On 3rd down, here's Jones. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll try and pick it up with Scarborough. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Bo Scarborough, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints add on to their lead.
The touchdown was scored by the runner, but the offensive line, they feel like it's theirs. They blocked that one up perfectly, allowed him easy access to the end zone.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Lutz now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
Green 80.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Here's Bortles to throw. Caught on the right side by Jones. A gain of 6 there on first. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
To throw is Bortles. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. Throwing now is Bortles. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him. I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, here's Newton. And incomplete on the deep ball. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time. And it's 3rd and short. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And he won't get to the marker as they're going to stop it for a 2nd straight play right at the line of scrimmage. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2.
4 down. Now get hot.
Here we go with Kamara. And boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. Alvin Kamara unable to push past that yellow line. And the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that, saying, oh, wow. Talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
Now Bortles throwing on second down. And he is going to be hit and taken down. Bortles sacked. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. From the gun, it's Bortles. From the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. 8 yards there on a first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Now Bortles. Through an opening, and there he goes. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. Lutz good on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Heading back out there now, the Saints defense. They have played a really good game. They're just looking for one final stop here and celebrate this victory.
And if you're on offense, you don't want them to have that satisfaction. You know that you're not going to win the game, but you don't want them to roll in.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Bobby Wagner in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Bortles to throw on second down. And Jones has it over the middle. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third down play takes place. As the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. From the gun on third down, Bortles. And incomplete here on third down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.